Today I fucked up by passing gas outside my husband's office. Both my husband and I work from home. I had just finished a marathon session of meetings and went to get a glass of water. While walking down the hallway, I let a big fart I had been holding for hours, one of those loud, "This sounds like a movie" sound effect poots. When I walked past my husband's door, he shot me daggers. He came downstairs later, genuinely upset. "I was in a meeting when you farted." I said, "Oh, okay. I didn't mean to distract you." He replied, "No, you don't get it. I wasn't muted, your fart was so loud my avatar glowed because my mic picked it up." Everyone in the meeting went silent, thinking I had just let a giant fart on camera. So yeah, I feel really bad, not only because I accidentally framed my husband with a fart, but also because I could not stop laughing long enough to apologize. I eventually did when I could catch my breath. TLDR, I farted so loudly my husband's mic picked it up during a client meeting. I'd have absolutely typed, "Sorry, that was my wife," face with tears of joy into the chat. 1985, whoever smelt it, dealt it. 2023, whoever zoomed it, kaboomed it. Edit, thanks. Not my first fart joke to win gold. Ha 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 ha. One day I was on our front porch, hosing it down and watering plants. My husband opened the door and just ripped the hugest, loudest fart. I looked towards the neighbor's house and saw the mom on their porch, looking at me. Turns out he was standing back enough from the door that she couldn't see him, just me. I was already laughing, as was he, and I shoved him into the house so I could go in too. He asked what's wrong. I said Mrs. Neighbor heard that and thought it was me. We could not stop laughing. One time my fiancé farted so loudly, our neighbors heard it through the wall and started laughing. For clarity, we do not have thin walls at all. It was brilliant. I let a big fart I had been holding for hours. Can we talk about what type of Kegel exercises you do to be able to hold in a fart for hours? And why, during your meetings, you couldn't mute and release it into the wild? That is hilarious. Unless I'm speaking, I'm muted 100 of the time. Even during a longer pause between speaking, I'll mute myself. Your husband has nobody to blame but himself. I farted once, really loud, whilst my other half was gaming online. This was about 15 years ago, and apparently he got some comments on his headset, but he took one for the team and my name was left unscathed. That's real love right there, and whatever happens in a relationship, farts are there to remind us to have a laugh every now and then. He will get over it, grinning face with smiling eyes. Similar story, my husband's office is right next to our toilet. I went peeing with the door open, while he was having a work meeting and was presenting. Apparently I pee quite noisily, so my husband started talking louder and faster to drown out my toilet sounds. Just wanted to comment that this post showed up in my feed immediately below one from our malicious compliance, titled "Ran Out of Gas," and the coincidence was too much to let pass, so to speak. Sounds like you have some to spare, and might be able to help. You did the right thing. People who don't think farts are funny can go straight to hell. You were just asserting your dominance. Back when he was new to Zooming, my husband ripped a big one, then proceeded to turn red, turn to me across the room and say, "Oh my God, I think everyone heard that." Again, thinking he is muted. Someone then said, "Was that husband's name?" He was new to the company. I think I lost 3 pounds that day laughing. And again in subsequent days reminding him. I was looking in on my husband one morning since he slept in a different room. He looked peaceful and I was debating getting into the bed with him when I let one rip. It startled him awake. I proceeded to start laughing and apologizing. I felt bad since he has fitful sleep, but it was also hilarious. Years from now, you guys will laugh your asses off about this. Please stop. I'm shaking the bed laughing and my husband has to be up early but I can't stop reading the comments. FFS face with tears of joy, 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 face with tears of joy. What the hell mic he has that does not cancel background noises? We can fart as much as we want in our together office almost next to each other and no one on call will hear. I love these farting stories. I giggle like a small child reading them. I've done this to myself, forgetting I wasn't on mute. Little green microphone flashed up as I did it. No FU detected here. Husband should have just started laughing to break the tension. Framed your husband as the F artist. Good for you. Why didn't you fart during your meetings? Unless you're talking you should be muted anyway, right? But yeah, your husband didn't mute as well, so it's probably a memo you've missed. Plot twist, husband made her make this post so he can have her excuse for farting while not on mute. 100 will mail everyone in conference call with this post. LOL, and that's why you keep your mic on mute unless you're speaking. It was a drive-by farting. Entirely on him for not muting. I think my husband would be proud to take the credit, LOL. Thanks for my first laugh of the day. I would have laughed my head off as well had I been in your shoes. Edit, got a question. What did you eat that gave you a movie sound effect fart? Call your husband's work colleagues and let them know he's trying to blame you for farting in his meeting and that his was clearly him. I learned this technique from my cat. You farted so loudly that his mic picked it up through the closed door. My avatar glowed. Holy shit, thanks for the laugh. My wife is a little cutie but she has the most loud clown farts in the world. I hope this taught a valuable lesson. X200B. Farts are funny and also always stay muted when you're not talking. Haha, these things happen. Never thought about the problems of crop dusting when working from home. I cannot stop laughing at this. I thought this would be something that could only happen to me. And that's why you always use push to talk instead of always on voice chat settings. It's his own fault. My son and I blamed it on my cat. After the cat passed, we now blame it on his ghost. Next time assert your dominance, walk into his office, fart, smile, walk out and close door behind you if the room has a door. That's known as the Raphael at our house, from a coworker who used to do that. Reminds me that I used to drive my ex nuts by cutting the loudest farts I could when we were alone in a store aisle with people in the next aisle and yelling AMY what the hell we're in public or something along those lines. She'd turn 12 shades of red and try to smack me. Maybe now he's learned to close the office door for meetings. Unless husband was speaking, it's 100 on him for not being muted. It's rude as fuck to not mute when not speaking because it often derails the whole meeting with whatever random background noise there is or whoever might be speaking or farting nearby. Ah ha 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 ha, this is pure gold. This will be funny in the future if he doesn't get in trouble with his boss for being unprofessional in front of a client or something. I'd be laughing at the absurdity but also really anxious about the next time I had to see my boss if they were on that call. This is gold. GIF emote, free emotes pack joy. Oh, my husband would have thrown me under the bus for that or blamed the dog cat kid. I laughed out loud reading that you couldn't stop laughing long enough to apologize. I just picture hubby blowing air out his nose as he turns around and stomps away. Now you have to intentionally do it when he's in meetings. Just be happy you went on an echo during that misdirected fart, LOL. Yeah, same happened to me. My roommate had client over. He sat the client down in the living room and went to the office to get a paper. I was sleeping and farted, and the client, though it was my roommate. I laughed out loud. Thank you. Ha ha ha, this is great. If this happened to me, I would gladly take credit for an ass-slapping fart like that. Drive-by tooting. I remember my mum doing that once. I was watching TV, she walked past my bedroom door, let out one massive trombone of a fart that was so bad that even the guy on the screen shouted, "What was that?" I have chronic fatigue and occasionally crash out completely around mid-afternoon. Well, on one of these occasions recently, I went to go have a sleep on the sofa in the living room where my wife has her WFH set up. I'm in the box room upstairs. Apparently I started just snoring and farting constantly while she was in meetings, which her and her colleagues all had a good laugh about, and I laughed about when I woke up because I'm a grown-up and fart